people are jumping on it. Yay, I'm Philadelphian and I would hit someone too. Or I'm Christian and you can do both. That's not true. And we're not going to support it.
Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast, baby. I am Spencer Cartier.
I am Oscar.
Oscar the Grouch. And this here is Frank wearing the good old Allen Iverson jersey. Do you know him?
Yeah.
One of the greatest basketball players to ever touch the court. And today him and I are going to a Sixers game. They're playing the Milwaukee Bucks, home of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And over here, my co-host Oscar is putting on her Lenten hats. One extra hat for every podcast of Lent. And you are on 12?
13.
13. So we are going to watch her go through her process. Now, wait.
We could just talk.
But did you... No, I'm not going to... Everyone wait. Under that, there is the 8 party hats?
Right.
Okay, so now you have...
So I have 1, 8 is 9, this is 10.
Okay. And then
I need 3 more.
3 more.
Okay.
Heck yeah, but it's been a heck of a week. The weekend came and went. We're coming to the end of April.
Nope.
The end of March.
Yeah.
And they say March comes in like a lion and out like a lamb. But I'll tell you what, it's going out like a lion. It's going out like a hyena.
I know.
Crazy weather. We had like beautiful 70 degree days here in Philadelphia the past couple weeks.
Yep.
All of a sudden, December is back. Do you know what a squall is?
A squall.
Squall.
Well, I do because I've been getting
alerts
on my
your
phone. To warn me.
So what a squall is, imagine like a snow hurricane or a snow tornado, just a tunnel of just a blizzard.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue. Sunny skies, in and out.
Before and after, yeah.
And they're very dangerous. They completely get rid of visibility.
Right.
Obviously just you're not prepared to be driving on a snowy road.
It's just terrible.
And unfortunately, over a little more west Pennsylvania, not west of us.
Yeah.
There was like a 60 or 80 car pileup.
Yes.
Because on those highways, cars can't stop.
I-81, which I've taken actually when I'm going to Florida.
North to south, right?
Yeah, because it kind of runs parallel to 95, but it's up.
Yeah.
And it's less crowded, but it is trucker heavy.
Yeah. And unfortunately, those big trucks, zero visibility. If one car crashes, the other car can't stop.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Huge pileup. Explosions.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a few people, I believe 5 people passed away. So our prayers go out to them.
It's just so scary because I don't like driving in ice.
Yeah.
Bad weather, low visibility, snow, not even icy rain.
Yeah.
And so in the winter, I'll check the weather and be like, how likely is this going to happen?
Yeah.
But to drive at the end of March with no warning.
Blue skies. Until.
And then within minutes, I think it went from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You could see time lapse for videography where it goes from completely see to you completely can't see. Yeah. Because of can't talk, can't see. Because of fog and snow.
Yeah.
And so maybe not so much slipping, but
it was the visibility I hear it was part of the worst part of it. But it really makes you not appreciate is the opposite. It's not the word I'm looking for. You cannot underestimate Mother Nature. Mm-mm. When I got those alerts, I said, squall, first of all, silly word. And thankfully it didn't even hit us.
No.
But I didn't concerns. But it's the equivalent of seeing tornado on your phone. Yeah. You got to be careful out there.
Just be so careful because even the people who pulled over safely, if you don't get out of your car, the cars, did you see this man almost hit?
No. I don't watch videos like that.
He goes over, he might have even already been hit, but he pulled over to the side, like the shoulder. Got out. I think he was like reaching into his car, but he like turned. Maybe people were screaming, and he turned and went that way. And here comes a truck and just took his whole car out.
It's gone.
Oof. So always get away from your car when it's disabled.
Far away. Fast cars are not fun in the snow. But that's our little squall story. Yeah. Squall story of the day. There's a couple of things we missed.
Yes.
Over the weekend.
Couple?
Yeah, I'm just saying one, really.
Oh, right.
We missed a couple of things.
Yeah.
We were here Friday. Today's Wednesday, first podcast of the week.
Yes.
Missed the Oscars. Didn't have a podcast for the Oscars. Watched them.
Oscars, the Academy Awards. What are they? People are celebrated for making the best movies of the year, acting in the best movies of the year, doing wardrobe for the best movies of the year.
Music, documentaries, you name.
So it's an American award, but people do win internationally.
Yes. And I don't think we need to really catch you guys up. You know what we're about to talk about.
How could you not?
The smack heard around the world.
Yes.
Will Smith, Philadelphia native. He probably even owns an Iverson jersey.
Oh, of course.
I'm sure there's a photo of him next to Iverson.
Everyone said it's because the Sixers lost that night. I'm serious.
That's
how stupid people are.
So just a quick catch up. Chris Rock hosting.
Chris Rock, super famous comedian, actor, a lot of cartoon voice acting, and just older guy, 57.
Older guy, 57. That's not old. 57 is the new 27.
57 is not old, but what I meant was he's not a teenager. He's not a newbie.
No, he's been in the game. He's tenured.
He's tenured
in his craft,
and probably in life he would be less likely to be involved in an altercation as somebody younger.
Yeah, I think once you're 57, you don't expect to be sucker slapped.
Exactly.
He made a joke. He made a couple of jokes. He made jokes about a lot of people.
He was doing his
One of them
routine.
was directed towards Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith laughs, turns to Jada. Why do they have to name their kids like that?
And the daughter's Willow.
Yeah. Jada, I know, talk about narcissism. Yeah. And sees that she's not happy.
Right.
And I guess if I had to take a guess, the weight of the past year of him being in the spotlight for his relationship, it's like, I got to do something. Walks up. Whoa, Chris Rock isn't expecting it. Smacks him. Goes back, sits down. Proceeds to yell profanity, paraphrased as, keep my wife's name out of your blanking mouth.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Right.
So,
basically telling him how to do his job.
Yeah.
Telling him that he will be the final say on what jokes are approved.
He is the judge, the jury, and in that slap instance, the executioner.
Yes. And even for you to say, I guess from the last year, I don't even
condone the idea.
We could make up a million stories or motivations, but number one, are they true? And number two, do they matter?
So here's the thing. We're a Christian podcast first.
We're a Christian podcast.
That's what
Will
we're off
Smith
first.
is a Christian.
Will Smith. I thought he was a Scientologist.
Okay, so they denied that.
Oh.
So Will Smith, he went to Our Lady of Lourdes school in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
He was raised, I think, Baptist and Catholic, but he says he's a Christian. Someone said they were Scientologists. Jada, now I'm doing what you're doing. Jada and Will both denied it.
Yes.
So we're not Scientologists.
Well, yeah, they're not, because he talked about God in his acceptance speech later. So we're going to talk about it from a Christian's perspective. Not who's right, who's wrong, where do the jokes cross
But I know
the line.
people have come here for our opinion on it.
You guys have probably been waiting since the Oscars, and here we are.
Here we are, and we do have something to say about it.
We do have something to say. Well, we're going to come up with it now. We don't have something planned to say.
Well, we have an opinion already.
Our official statement is it was wrong of Will.
Yes.
Under no circumstance of a comedian's joke was that acceptable? Was it Christian? Was it father-like? Because I believe in his acceptance speech, he compared himself to a protective father.
Right.
And I'm just saying, we can jump around, but I'm going to jump to the punchline.
Okay.
Here. There's, as Christians, there's a protective father that we know very well.
Right.
And not the Williams father, not Richard Williams. No, someone a little higher, and that is God.
Right.
And luckily, that father gave us a handbook.
Right.
The greatest book, if you will. And it sort of lays out what the love of a protective father does.
Right.
And it does just that. It loves.
Right.
It forgives. It is unconditional. And it accepts, and New Testament turns the other cheek.
Right.
So I don't think there's, from a Christian perspective, I don't think there's any defensible argument to justify that.
No.
Jada Pinkett Smith was not in danger.
No.
She was not being accosted. It was a one and done joke, and I'm gonna just say it, with his God acceptance speech, when I watched it, I was a little bit like, are these the kind of things that give Christianity a bad name? Because are we not supposed to, especially when using God in our statements and stuff, are we not supposed to have our actions speak? Is it not supposed to be, well, why did you not say anything when he was attacking your wife? And it's like, well, you know, I spoke to him in private, or I did this, but he's like, who am I to attack another man?
Right.
Like, and my biggest thing with all of these situations, this is with the violence in general, it's, if Chris Rock crossed the line, especially verbally, walk away from the Oscars having Chris Rock's joke be the negative part.
Yes.
Let's
just say the joke, because people, if you know, like,
the joke was,
people probably do know, but
Jada Pinkett Smith has a shaved head now.
Yes.
And he said, "I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2.
Okay.
Starring you."
Right.
And you know, obviously after the fact, it's like, well, she has alopecia, and so he came. So he made the joke.
G.I. Jane, the original movie, was Demi Moore in it, and she is in the army, so she has to shave her hair. She shaves her hair. She's a huge Hollywood actress. The prime of her career, she looked gorgeous,
beautiful.
And so he makes the joke: "Are you the next G.I. Jane, a pretty lady with a bald head?" This is all you know. He didn't
in
say
between
all that.
The lines,
right? But there was no alopecia joke made. There was no "you're a bald head" made.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, alopecia, autoimmune disease, with the only problem being that, not the only problem, but the main and capped problem of it is that you lose your hair.
Yeah.
So it doesn't do other things to you, but just to say, a lot of people think she has cancer. She doesn't have cancer. She has alopecia, so she loses hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think we could go on many directions here. We could go on, was the joke too far? We're a Christian podcast first. We're a little bit of a comedy podcast second. You know, we like to crack our jokes.
Yeah.
And I think it's bad for the comedy world.
True.
Comedians were always a rare breed of people who the whole point is to be edgy.
Right.
And with the idea being, they go for everyone.
Right.
It's not like, okay, this person just hates a group of people. It's crack jokes about himself.
Yeah.
How many jokes Chris Rock made about himself?
Well, I mean,
he had a whole show that was called Everybody Hates Chris.
What's his name? Will Smith. Will Smith first is a rapper.
Yeah.
Okay. Rappers are constantly dissing people, each other, and their significant other. So it's not even like, well, you shouldn't have come for my wife. That's a rapper. Second, he's a comedian. And if you watch the famous Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he's constantly insulting his cousin in the show.
Yeah.
I want to say Wilson, but Carlton. He's not, you didn't attack Billy Graham's wife. You know, like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So there is different scenarios, but I can see why Chris Rock was so shocked that it was not received.
Yeah. And so, to people who are saying, maybe you're just defending it. Maybe you're saying he crossed the line. But once again, from a little bit of a Christian side, it's one, this should never be a precedent, is what I say.
No.
Comedians make jokes. He was making jokes about a lot of other people.
Yes.
Now, is it fair game? Oh, whoever else is being called out, which is constant. That's the whole point. Look at, like, even get out of the comedy field. What is the presidential, the one that he's a presidential dinner?
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, the press. It's like the press dinner.
State of the Union?
No, it's like a press dinner. I forget what it's called, but yeah.
And Barack Obama is up there, making fun of, roasting
and roasting,
Donald Trump, and it's like, can Donald Trump stand up and stop the president? If I go down to the Laugh Lounge, and they make fun of me and they say, you got some big old ears, which comedians would do. I mean, it would be much funnier than that. It's not usually a direct insult. where's the precedent? And I think the precedent should be set as us Christians, supposed to lead by example.
Yes.
To forgive.
Right.
Let people ask, why did you not do anything when someone did that?
Right. So I believe did you already say that Serena and Venus Williams' father said because he was referenced as, I'm acting like you, I'm acting like a protective father. Yeah. His response through his son, I think, was, we don't condone hurting anyone unless it's in self-defense. And that is supposed to be the rule across the board. That's how cops are supposed to act. Yeah. That's how we're supposed to act. Self-defense. Will has a lot of, what's it called? Like, I don't he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I can't think
right.
He can do whatever he wants. Okay. Yeah. So he could have got out of his seat, walked up. I don't suggest it, but he could have walked up on the stage, taken the mic and said something about alopecia, something about people feel depressed, something about, or he could have left.
Yeah.
Him and Jada, people do that. Yeah. And when you walk out of something, you really do make a message.
Yeah.
People would say, why did he walk out? Then they would have said, please come back. And maybe Chris Rock would have had to apologize.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I had no other choice. I was cornered.
Yeah.
It was, I don't like what you're saying, so I'm going to use violence to make you stop saying it. That is never the way to handle something.
No.
Never.
No.
There's no justification. But yet, in Will Smith's acceptance speech, he justified it with love.
Yeah.
And God, which is the same word.
Yeah.
Okay. And he got a standing ovation. He got cheered. He got clapped on the back. He got his photograph taken. He got applauded and celebrated. So Denzel Washington famously said to him, I don't even know if I have that, do I?
When you're at your most highest, that's when the devil comes for you the hardest.
And what I loved, thank you, D. Denzel said to me a few minutes ago, he said, at your highest moment, be careful. That's when the devil comes for you.
Did the devil win? Why Will Smith told the crowd that after what he just did? Did you think you acted Christ-like in that moment so that you can now say it? Or are you saying the devil won there?
That's a good point. You're just making, and I'm only thinking about it now. When he said it with kind of a chuckle.
He laughed.
It's like, and isn't that the truth?
Right.
But it wasn't when he was on the acceptance speech that that the devil came after him. It was because God's love, right?
Yes.
The devil, therefore, is the absence of that,
right.
The absence of love,
right?
Hatred, anger,
right?
At his most highest, he was going to win an award that night for
right.
greatest actor,
right.
Best actor.
Even if he didn't win, you were nominated with all those great people. Yeah.
And the moment came. So let's say he's at the Oscars. He's at the highest.
Right.
And the devil crept into his mind and said, "Don't stand for that. Don't
right.
forgive him.
Right.
Don't love him." You know what he just said?
Right.
Hurt him.
Right.
And so I agree with what Denzel said.
Yeah.
But I agree with it in the sense of, unfortunately, Will Smith succumbed to the
let me not fall into temptation.
Yes.
Okay. So that is in the Our Father, the only prayer that Jesus said when asked, how should we pray? He said, do the Our Father.
Yeah.
It's written in 2 of the Gospels. Let me not fall into temptation. So at that moment, he was tempted.
Yeah.
I'm so angry with him.
Yeah.
I want to shut him up and I want to hit him. So he went and did it.
Yeah. I think a big point always that we make is, as Christians, it's not, once you accept Jesus Christ in your heart, you'll never be angry again.
Right.
We're humans.
Right.
And the whole point of free will and why we're on earth is the people are going to say things to you that you
right.
are ready to just strangle them dead.
Right.
You're ready to hit them in the head with a hammer. All very violent things, but even on smaller scales, when someone insults you, you're ready to like, oh, you're insulting me?
Right.
And we know what you're supposed to do. You know who was the most, I would say, Christ-like?
Right.
It's Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Did he not turn the other
You're
cheek? Right. You saw at one point, Chris Rock says, I could just...
Yeah.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television.
He was tempted.
Did the devil not come for him there and say, you know what you can say? Yeah. You're a comedian first.
You're right.
For years.
Oh, I have chills. This is true. I have chills for this.
You're a comedian first. For years, you've crafted the ability to tear someone apart.
And can you imagine the devil?
Yeah.
It's a delight. I'm seeing, okay, so he did that. Oh, now you get him back now.
You know what to do. You know what to do.
Yeah.
And what did he do? So once again, it wasn't he slaps someone and it's like, that's okay. Like one of these like really like
which you imagine when you hear saying, turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
Let him slap you again.
No, he was right there. And then opposite to Will, he chose okay. And then he continues to go on.
Right.
And
let's move past this.
And that they both faced temptation. They both faced angry emotion.
Right.
Handled it differently,
right?
And what resembled. Now, I Jesus is in all of us, right? So, replace these people with Jesus. Which one would be more like Jesus? To get slapped and then continue,
right?
Or to get up and attack somebody,
right?
And it's the funny thing about it is it's literally in the Bible to turn the other cheek,
right?
And usually it's metaphorical, right? It's just like turn the other cheek. This was quite literally, was a physical embodiment of turning the other cheek.
Right.
And that's what it's supposed to look like. And it's not easy to do.
No.
It's actually your pride.
Right.
This human pride we have.
Right.
I hate when, my face, even though that's a joke, because it's not even that it hurt. It's the disrespect. And it's like you can just feel your blood boil.
Right.
And to then still be able to say,
right,
I'm not going to let my anger get the best of me.
Right.
I'm going to let love win. And that's what it's about.
All of Christianity, all of the Bible, but strongly in Christ's teachings, is let God handle it.
Let God handle it.
Let God handle it. Okay. Like we said, it wasn't in self-defense for himself or for her. Yeah. There were other options if she felt so abused.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not saying be pushovers.
Right. And like you said, it would have been. The highlight would have been on you hurt these people's feelings, but to take it upon yourself to punish someone in the name of love is not the way to go. So so you're going to say the pieces from his speech that you were interested in. So he said, well, you talked about Richard Williams. So he said he tried to compare himself to Richard Williams. He said, he was a fierce defender of his family and I'm a fierce defender of my family. That's just justifying your actions. Yeah. Chris Rock can also justify his actions. Yeah. If you go to court of law, they say, if you do something, it's like, but did the person realize that a possibility like that might happen? Yeah. So it's the same thing. You knew so that's that. He said the same thing. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father. That's a he's labeled himself that way because nobody said. Also, you're not supposed to call people crazy anymore. So I don't know why people aren't jumping on that. Love will make you do crazy things.
That sounds a little, I think a lot of red flags went off in that statement. I think abuse 101 is,
yes,
I did this because I love you.
Right.
I'm just crazy in love with you. Baby girl, how much I love you. Right. And I just couldn't handle my emotions.
I saw a little, they have all the memes, all the clips and quips in them. Yeah. But it said rapper storms the stage to attack an ex-NSL cast member, a rapper goes to the stage to get SNL cast member who is disrespecting his wife. And of course, you'd think it's Kanye. Yeah. But because Chris Rock was on SNL, just like Pete Davidson. But is it, a double standard? Everyone says that Kanye is abusive and scary. But Kanye keeps saying, I'm doing it out of love. Yeah. I'm doing it out of love for my family and my wife, ex-wife. Now, when Will is saying it, so that's odd.
And I mean, just to stay on the double standard topic for a little bit. There's so much privilege.
Yes.
In this. Yes. Talk about a double standard. It's like we're allowing well, he's Will Smith.
Right.
And because a couple of times, hey, 76ers, Philadelphia, he was like, oh, wow, it's a Philly man. It's like the double standard you have that you think that you're like, because you're getting, after you slapped him in the face in front of the world to see, you had Bradley Cooper hugging and consoling you.
Yes. It's a huge double standard. I took umbrage with the speech when he talked about, I was brought to this point because of the stress that I'm under, or the fact that people have been insulting me for a long time. We're from Philadelphia. We're Philadelphians, and I'm not going to associate myself with the way he's trying to associate himself with Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I know it's the city of brotherly love. We are facing problems just like all the other major cities in the United States, but founded by William Penn, who's a Quaker, who are pacifists.
Yeah.
There are loving, kind, non-abusive people citywide who do not hit people in the face when they don't like what they're saying. So I'm not accepting.
No, it's not a justification. It's like with all the Italians that got mad when Cuomo said, "I'm not perverted, I'm Italian."
Exactly.
It's like, okay, don't say that. Don't bring us into and there was a lot of justification. It made me a little upset. And just one more quote is like, I'm being called on to love people and to protect people and be a river to my people. Once again, and I'm going to circle back to this father thing.
Why did he say river? Because I found that a little odd. Because I mean, the river in the Bible is all God. Like what is he saying there? I want to be a river to my people.
So that's what I was about to say. He's speaking quite biblically.
He is
talking about the protective father. I'm a river to my people, and in biblical sense, the river to my people is the river provides life, and all down the river, towns can be created, and animals and people can drink. And he's saying, because obviously he's a financial breadwinner, and he wants to provide for those he loves, but once again, the frustration talking about being, first I'm a father, a defender, I'm a river to my people. You're doing a lot of parallels with God, and yet your actions were not that.
Right.
And it comes back to something that I don't like very much.
Right.
It's hypocrisy.
It's hypocrisy.
The hypocrisy to talk.
Very hypocritical.
The hypocrisy to talk about love and a protective father and talking about God, and then act like that. I was about to say forgive, but I do forgive. Well, but I would be more okay. I'd actually walk away from the situation feeling like, okay, because people make mistakes. We're human. We have emotion.
Always.
In his acceptance speech, he said, if you wanted to talk about God, he said, this is not the man I want to be.
Right.
I want to choose love.
That's another opportunity he had.
He said, I want to be a man of love, and I am only human. And, like it was called, God given me all of this, and I can't let my emotions get the best of me. If he brought up God in the sense of, this was not Christ-like. This was not a good Christian or spiritual or just morally good thing to do, but to defend the actions.
Right.
And then that's what earlier I said. Does this give Christianity a bad name? Mm-hmm. So many things, human agendas that people have used for hundreds of years, the Bible, to promote straight out of context.
Right.
And then it's
the confusion of do as I say, not as I do. The confusion of seeing what he did and then minutes later saying, I only act Christ. Like he said, I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world. I am beyond confused about the confliction in that his actions to what he is saying. God is calling you to accost people, to humiliate people. Yeah. Chris Rock is someone's father.
Yeah.
Like, eye for an eye, that's Old Testament.
That's Old Testament.
Like what? And guess what? Jews would take offense for me saying that because that's actually misunderstood as well. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not exactly that. Yeah. So you abuse me, I abuse you. But I'm just saying, like, why is he saying that? I am overwhelmed by what God is calling on me to do and be in this world.
Yeah.
Does it mean I can't? He wants him to be Christ-like and he can't live up to it. I mean, that would be me being really generous to him.
I once again, I can't speak for him, but it seemed more like I need to.
Don't look at that. Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Look at me. Look at me.
Well, no, it's like almost like I didn't want to have to hit you.
Oh God, yeah, the old saying.
Yeah, like this hurts
me.
But
why'd you make me do it?
Why'd you make me hit you? God,
you know what? You're
why
right.
are you putting me in this position? Like as if Chris Rock was Goliath and he was David,
right?
And that's the twisting
that brings up a good point. If it was Jason Momoa on stage who made the joke, would Will have went and smacked him in the face? Are we still picking on people who are smaller than us, older than us, females, children?
Yeah.
His own child. What did he tweet out afterwards?
He tweeted out, "That's how we do it."
That's how we do it. What does that mean?
Yeah.
So it would be different if Jaden his son had tweeted out, "I'm shocked my dad did that. That's not the type of person my dad is."
But also, you can defend him while saying, obviously the actions were irresponsible. It all comes down to, even as humans, once again, God forgives us all, but there's a certain accountability that like the first step I think is that's about the relationship with God, is like, what path does God actually want me? And it comes down to love. It comes down to forgiveness. It comes down to all of these concepts. And then when you're walking on the path, you can be accountable to say, I went the wrong way.
Yes.
And what God will do is forgive you.
Of course.
Or I'm going the right way. And so you can be emboldened in that. The biggest problem in Christianity and in life is to do the wrong thing and justify it as the right thing.
That's right. As Christian Philadelphians, we are denouncing what he did, and we don't want to be, like you said, is bad for Christianity. So we just want to let it be known that he acted individually, and even though people are jumping on it, yay, I'm Philadelphian and I would hit someone too, or I'm Christian and you can do both. That's not true, and we're not going to support it.
We're not going to support it, but he is human, and we don't condemn him either. We just hope that, just like the lost sheep, that he does have a relationship, with God, and hopefully he learns from this and goes the right way.
Because the temptations are always there.
The temptations are always there, and the amount of times you can mess up, you've never messed up too much to be unforgivable.
That's right.
That's our show. That's our ideas on the Oscars and Will Smith. But I will be back with you and one more hat tomorrow for Walk Through Thursday. That's our show. Give us a like. Why don't you? I'm waiting. All right. Peace.